My name's Glenn Foley from Dirt and Trail and Ride Fast magazine. You'll see we're all online. It's motormedia.co.za. I'm the voice behind all the funny videos that we shoot and post all over the place. Many people have seen our stuff and said, well, who's the guy holding the camera? So this is me. Been in the motorbike trade for 30 years. And what I've decided to do, I'll do a little introduction on each video that we post. And this one is all about a crowd called Riding for a Limb. We met them, I've actually known about them forever. But I never actually truly understood what makes them do what they do and how it all came about. So this is Riding for a Limb. We bumped into them at Stofskop. It's an amazing story. I know it's a long video, and I know that the background noise is noisy. It was a motorbike thing, and we all love motorbikes. But have a watch, and if you're in a position to help them, get involved. It's a great cause. At Stofskop today, we've met up with a very special crowd of people. Good afternoon, guys.
Hi.
Are you having fun?
Yeah.
It's lekker, eh? Hey? Sir, you haven't fallen off yet? You haven't got yourself legless? Oh, sorry, I got that wrong. We with the guys from Riding for a Limb. Is that the correct title?
Yes.
Okay, now what I'm going to do, so I know that this man on the left here, this guy, who doesn't want to be in the video at all, sitting next to Paul, you're the man who started this whole initiative, is that right?
That's correct.
Right, so I'm going to come closer. You're going to tell us, please, what you do. I'm going to shove the camera right in your face. Go.
We're basically a group of volunteers raising funds to help people to get prosthetic limbs.
Okay.
Although the thing is called Riding for a Limb, it's not necessary that they've lost limbs through bike accidents.
Yeah.
But we are bikers because a lot of our bikers have lost limbs due to diabetes, which is like in Gerda's place. Brett's was a different one. He was at work doing his plumbing, he fell off a roof, lost his leg.
What did he learn? Don't drink whiskey at work.
I think that, probably with him, he was at school with Paul, so I doubt would have learned anything,
Listen, I think what you guys do is absolutely awesome. Gerda,
Hi.
you are a real inspiration. You are a double amputee, is that right?
That's right.
And I heard the word diabetes, is that correct?
Correct.
How long ago was that?
9 years ago.
9 years ago. Double amputation, I'm going to show everybody. And then tell me your story, please.
So I battled for 7 years with wounds on my feet. And after the 7 years, I basically died, so to speak, because I was full of septicemia.
Yeah.
And the 24th of April 2014, the choice came either amputate my legs or die.
Okay.
And through a personal experience, I chose to have my legs amputated, and from there it's been an absolute joy. What a journey it's been.
Okay, tell me about your journey. So you had your legs amputated and Riding for a Limb got hold of you. How did it all work out?
Well, it actually happened that my medical aid at the time referred me to a company that would be able to assist me with prosthesis.
Yeah.
I went for a private quote. The quote quoted me 400,000 rand.
Wow.
So I thought I'm going to be a mom of two boys for sitting in a wheelchair for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
And after a few weeks, Charles got hold of me, and it was actually like amazing to have a fellow biker that helped me through the whole journey and motivated me.
And you walk and you talk and you exactly I know somebody who's been through something similar, not as hectic as you, and you can hug your kids and you ride motorbikes.
I do.
With
That's the best part.
Double amputation, you ride a motorbike.
I do.
That's unreal, hey?
And I'm a proud Honda ambassador.
Listen, commission checks in the mail, hey?
Absolutely.
Honda sponsored me the Africa Twin.
It's absolutely fantastic.
Her name is Twinny,
Yeah.
very close to me.
Oh, now listen, it's an amazing story. I'm going to move to you right now.
Just
So, we did a story in the magazine about you, and it was a hell of a story because at the time it was all fresh. I was on a group that you're on as well. I think it's the Pit Bike group,
That's correct.
and we heard that you'd fallen off the ladder, and
Yeah.
the things went pear-shaped very, very quickly.
Correct, yeah.
So tell us from start to finish your story as well. You broke your multiple brakes.
Okay, so basically what happened, Glenn, was on the 24th of April 2020, I went out to go do a geyser replacement. I fell off the roof. I shattered my tibia, my fibia, ankle socket with an open fracture. roughly about five operations to try or to straighten the leg and everything, which seemed to be working fine. Then in October of that same year, 2020, I got an infection in the bottom part of my leg, which was actually in the ankle.
Yeah.
And we tried, they removed all the plates from the leg. Then they put external fixation on to try and hold the leg in place because it wasn't growing back together because of the infection. So they were basically trying to pull the leg from the top and pull it from the bottom and get it to join, which also failed. So I was basically out of action for a year.
Wow. No income. Lying at home.
Self-employed.
Yeah.
You know, no income coming in, whatever. And then in February of 2021, I made a decision to have amputation because I couldn't carry on. I needed to get back to work. So that was amputated in February of 2021.
Yeah.
Just after the amputation, Paul got hold of me. I went to school with Paul.
Yeah.
He got hold of me. He said to me, "Are you going to have an amputation?" I said yes. So after the amputation, he got hold of me. Shoal came and saw me as well. Gerda came and saw me, and they just basically organized everything, and got a leg.
Absolutely amazing.
Back
Guys,
on
I
the
want to
bike.
show you. This is the fastest oak you've ever seen on a pit bike. But I think he's going to be protested because he actually weighs a lot less than the other guys out there. Eh?
That's what I keep saying.
So that's exactly what it is.
Just to point out something. Gerda is the only bilateral lady in the world riding a bike. And we've done extensive research on it through the Amputee Coalition, Amputee Riders Group in the States, everything like that. When they did the Women's World Rally, that Gerda was it, they chose Gerda to be like the beneficiary as riding for a limb on that whole trip, that she did just over 4,000 kilometers on that trip in 6 odd days. I couldn't believe that she carried it through because of the vibrations on the bikes and things like that. When we stopped in just before Cape Town, her legs were blue or black. I wanted to stop her riding. She said, "No, this is a commitment that I made." She got onto the bike and rode from there. I also want to tell you this, when Gerda did her first ride, on her very first ride, she did it to help kids that we work with through CHOC that have lost limbs through cancer. On that first ride that we did around the country, she gave 36 kids limbs.
Wow.
And I just want to tell you, if you have a look at an average of around about 70,000 rand per limb, how much they came through.
Absolutely.
All of us that work with this are people like Brett. Gerda has a full day job. She's got her 2 kids to look after and does this in her spare time, the same as what Paul does. So it's not about me, it's about the fortunate thing that we've had certain people put into our lives. Biking is our passion, and for me, it's the easiest guy to rehabilitate when it comes to losing a limb is a biker, because the carrot is always there that I want to ride my bike.
So, you know, there's a very good reason that I told you had to sit on this interview. So I'm very glad that you did, because these clowns wouldn't have told us any of that unless you'd been sitting here.
Yes.
So how does that sound? So guys, I want to just tell you, we interrupted that interview just so that Brett could go and dazzle us with his talent, because he's a lot lighter than all the other pit bike riders out there. And I'll show you what happened here. You can see here, I've got to show you the back of the shirt apparently. There he is, this Slapper, the one-legged lapper, and he didn't even make a lap and he fell flat on his ass. Is that right, sir?
That's correct. Yes.
Okay, so now your fancy prosthetic limb now has some war wounds, eh?
Correct, yes.
Lacquer. Well, it's fantastic to see you still out there and doing what you love, so it's fine.
Thanks.
But I'm going to go back to the original interview. Stop interrupting now. Okay. So I'm going to pick up where we finished off. What was your inspiration? Number one, when was Riding for a Limb founded? And number two, what inspired you to get on with it?
Well, I've been involved in amputees for about 23 years.
Yeah.
Riding for a Limb was basically founded when we came across Gerda.
Yeah.
Because firstly, you asked me what the motivation was, and let me say what Gerda is. Gerda, at the time that I'd met her and she just lost her limbs, her youngest son had open heart surgery when he was 4 days old. He was in one hospital in Sunningdale and she was in Flora Clinic for basically the first 2 years of his life.
Okay, now push pause. Okay, here's the little guy. Hello, young man.
Hi.
Yeah, give me a fist pump. Well done. And there he is. How's that for a story, eh?
Yeah, cool.
So?
Gerda, I said to Gerda, what is your biggest dream in life? And she said to me, Charles, if I could just stand and hold my child.
Oh.
And of course that just broke everything, and then I was determined to get this lady up and running. So I had her fitted, I had the guys make her legs for 2 weeks. I never got her to stand or anything. Did most of the work at her work where she was working. Her kids didn't know. And on a particular Friday, the father brought them through, this little one too. They didn't know that the mother could stand it.
Wow.
And when this little one saw his mom up and standing, he just, ran up and grabbed his mother. And it was probably the greatest experience I've ever had in my life. Because
Yes.
no money can buy a thing.
No, absolutely. There you are. I do have a small understanding of what you are saying.
So also just to reiterate to you again is all of us that work within the Riding for a Limb group are volunteers.
Yeah.
Everybody has full-day jobs, excepting me because I'm too old to work, so I just ride around bikes the whole day. And all of them that control the trust, anybody donating any money into that goes into that trust. Nothing gets covered on our side, petrol or cell phones or anything like that. When we get the prototest, whoever the prototest is that makes the leg, when it's been done and it's good enough and I've checked it and I've done the rehab with him, I will sign it off and Paul and them will then authorize the payment to the proceeds.
It's amazing, eh?
So-
Paul, now we keep referring to Paul. Paul,
Hello, Glenn.
how do you fit into Paul is from Honda South Africa. You're the area
I'm an area manager for Honda South
for Honda
Africa.
SA, and of course Gerda has a very nice motorbike from you guys, and she's a fantastic ambassador for your brand. So what's your involvement with all of this, Paul?
Well, I met Charles and Gerda when I was working at a dealership actually, and
Yeah.
we got chatting, and obviously seeing Gerda and her situation, we kind of figured that Honda Africa Twin DCT would be the ideal bike. And,
Yeah.
it's good for our brand, it's good for Honda.
Yeah.
To have somebody like Gerda to everyday transport. She uses the motorbike 20, I should say, day in and day out.
Yeah.
And like Charles said, she's one of the only double amputees in the world that we know of.
Hang on,
And-
you weren't paying attention.
Yeah.
She is the
She is.
only. She
I
is the
apologize.
only. This lady here is the only double amputee to ride a motorcycle.
Riding bikes too long, but
Yeah.
lady amputee. So
Lady amputee.
for Honda, it's a great feather in our cap to have Gerda on the Africa Twin DCT.
And
as
I
say,
do
day
see-
in and day out.
Guys, I'm oblivious to lots of stuff, but I do see all the projects that you guys do. So now, earlier you were telling us how many projects you're working on right now. Give us an idea of how many projects are in the
At
pipeline.
the moment we're busy with 5 bikers
Yeah.
countrywide.
Yeah,
Port Elizabeth, Clarksdorp, Durban, and 2 on the East Rand.
wow.
One we just fitted 2 weeks ago. He's up and walking. The one from Clarksdorp had a very bad accident in Botswana on an accident on what was it, the rally raid?
Yeah.
I think it was.
Kalahari Rally.
Kalahari Rally. He's an above knee. Also knows Paul from many years back with racing and all that. And we should be fitting him within the next 2 weeks.
Wow.
We've already got him back up. He's made with a walking stick a gear lever for his 250 Honda, and he's riding already again.
Oh, that's amazing, eh? No, it's cool. So I think what you guys do is just amazing.
If I may, when I first met Gerda and then even Brett's situation, I mean, I race bikes, so I've spent time on crutches. And
Yeah.
Not too long ago.
Well, you're going to say to all you buggers, rest in peace.
Yeah, well, basically to spend time with the guys and realize what they go through. I had 6 weeks on crutches and it was the worst 6 weeks of my life. And
Yeah.
these guys are doing it day in and day out.
Yes.
And the fact that there's
It's a permanent fixture.
It is.
That's what
And,
it is, yes.
You complain when you're trying to make coffee on crutches. These guys are. That's what they live with day in and day out. So
Yeah.
for an organisation like Riding for a Limb, for Charles to be there to go, let's help these guys, it's incredible to see and to experience. And
Yeah.
I've spent time with Charles where I'm going, until you meet these guys. Chuck is another situation. Little kids with cancer that have lost
Yeah.
limbs. I was in East London with Charles. The first time it actually hit home was a little kid that they'd got up and walking, and the kid wasn't going to survive because he had terminal cancer. And to see him, that excitement on his face that he could take steps again, was just incredible. And I've got goosebumps, and it's just amazing.
It's like that. It is, and I understand a lot of that.
And that's what it's all
the
about.
biggest thing, Glenn, because we're in a biking thing and I've grown up with bikes. I've been riding for over 50 years. I still ride every day. But I've been put in a position that I'm fortunate enough to use my passion for motorcycle to make a difference to other people's lives. And as Paul says, sometimes the professors will say to me, this kid has only got 8 months or a year left to live. Paul has asked me the question as well. So what do we do with the funds that we have for that particular kid? Do we give that kid a leg, knowing he's not going to live, or do we hold the money back to the next kid?
What a choice to make.
It's a very difficult thing. But let me tell you, my first decision on that was about 22 years ago with an 8-year-old little girl. I gave her a leg. From then, we've done in excess of 400 kids countrywide because we do right throughout the country. I've never come to the situation where the next kid comes that we haven't had funds to help them.
Yeah, that's amazing, hey?
It's incredible. So there's just, and you want to put it plain, we're just blessed.
Yeah.
Because we're doing it for the right reason, not to enrich ourselves.
Yeah.
Which makes me so cross with how many NGOs and MBOs. And the sad thing is, this is true, and we're not there. We're not affiliated to any biking group, although I walked a very long path with CMA, with Renee and that. But at the moment we're doing Maxes. We've got Crusader, we've got, I think it's, Immortal Guardians that we're busy doing. And the sad thing is this, is that you see when they do their day draws and that, we've never ever said, let's say some friends were riding for a limb. But as soon as one of their guys loses a limb, the first guys they contact is us. And we've never stepped back to look at it. We don't expect anybody from it.
Yeah.
Because people don't realize, even people with medical aid, the top medical aids don't pay 50% of what the cost of a prosthesis is. So if in the status like Brett, that we're very fortunate, his medical aid that it is, but if a guy gets there and the medical aid's only paying 47,000 rand, where do they find the other
40 grand? Yeah.
So that's where we will try and come in to help with that. And where there is absolutely no funds whatsoever, as we have with Gavin in Clarksville at the moment, we will do our best to pay fully.
And it's all about fundraising, hey guys?
And that's what's important. You know, Facebook Gerda manages the Riding for Limb Facebook page, and we get a lot of people saying, and like Charles said, and I'm going to reiterate, we all work full-time jobs, and people go, oh, you don't get back to me, but it's something that we're doing out of the goodness of our hearts.
Correct.
You know, there isn't money floating around just to do it all the time. So there's fundraising. And
you're not earning a salary doing this. You're doing it because you're good people.
We try and help.
Yeah.
And Charles good with that. He'll help the people we can help. And that's amazing. So it's sad that not everybody can be helped, but that is the way of the world.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, guys, I can tell you from what I've seen, and this young man here will agree, they've helped lots of people.
100%.
And that's what it's all about. Eh?
Correct.
Part of the group.
That's right.
He's
Yeah.
not young, he's my age. He's an old slapper.
Well, he can't ride according to what I've seen there. But anyway. So, lady, how do people get hold of you if they want to donate? It's a great thing. Listen, you heard the comment. All the motorbike clubs. Look at all the motorbikes out here. We are, every day, we put ourselves in a situation where things can and do go wrong. And as you said so rightly, not necessarily due to an accident or whatever, diabetes. There's a case in point. That's nobody's fault. That's what it is. How do people get involved? How do we get funds in? What do we do?
Here's our social media lady.
Social media lady.
Social media.
www.facebook.com/
Riding for a Limb.
Riding for a Limb.
So all our details are on there.
Yeah.
It would be awesome if we get people involved to help us, to help others.
Okay.
It is nothing less but the gift of walking.
Absolutely. 100%.
And meeting great people like this.
Well, that's
with the same
debatable.
passion.
That's debatable. Great. You said great people. I'm not so sure.
The same passion. That's what it's
Exactly
about.
what it is, yeah.
No, I'm pulling your leg. Oh, is that appropriate? Listen, you guys, it's been an absolute pleasure chatting to you. I'm very sorry once again that it's taken so long to put this all together. You, sir, you are an amazing person. You're amazing. And you know what? You're a bloody inspiration, sir. To still be riding your dirt bike after all the crap you've been through. Well done.
Thanks.
Thanks a lot. Look them up, guys. Riding for a Limb.
I'm on Facebook.
I'll put some details up. Please get involved.
Thanks, Glenn.
Kyk net na die ou toe. Ek weet ek is nie die mooiste ou nie, maar kyk my hier na my toe. Kyk, kom. Jy kom spook. Jep, mooi op. Trap deur met hom. Hak af. Kyk, gebruik haar arm vir balans.